One of the things that I'm most excited about when it comes to my home sale process is the part where we decide what to do as far as decorating and doing minor upgrades in order to get your home sold for top dollar. And this explanation is a little bit nuanced, but I would say it is worth your time. If you're thinking about selling your house at any time in the future, you should watch this video just so you can kind of understand what I've learned over 10 years of selling houses. And that is, buyers make decisions emotionally based on how they feel, and how they feel is often, for the most part, determined by what they see. So when it comes to this question of whether or not we should do any upgrades, the answer is almost always yes. And even if you have zero budget, I have a solution. So just to kind of build a little bit of a framework as to why, I think that's important, because I think the motivation on the home seller has to be there. So I want you to think about this scenario where, most home sellers fit in two buckets. Either I'm going to do some upgrades, I'm not really sure what to do, or I don't want to spend any more money. I've already spent a lot of money getting this house ready and I don't want to do anything else. And I'm just going to give the home seller a credit, or the home buyer credit. And what I hear people say a lot is, well, they're just going to tear it out and do it their way. So let's start with the premise of anybody tearing anything out of a house. And I could tell you, because before I was a real estate agent, I was a mortgage lender. Most people go to settlement with like $1,500 in their bank account. They are, tapped out. They've spent, enormous amount of money on closing costs and down payment and moving and getting their house ready to sell. And they just don't have any money. So it really comes down to, whatever they see. And you could probably say, most people fit in this category. Whatever home they buy, it looks like that the whole time they own it until they get ready to sell it. And then sometimes they'll fix it up. Or some people do some upgrades through the years, but they don't do it right away. And that's really the point. So let's imagine a scenario where a home seller has like emerald green carpet all throughout their house, and they say, well, I'm just going to give the buyer a credit. So imagine being a home buyer, and, keep in mind the psychology here. Home buyers are all excited and they are buying this emotionally. And one of the things that you have to think about is, typically the wife makes the ultimate decision buying the house. And many times the motivations there are, there's a lot of pressure on a family to make their house look nice. And one of the first things they're going to do is they're going to text their sister and their mom and their friends and say, hey guys, look at this house we're buying. We're putting this house under contract. And if the house is dingy looking and it has emerald green carpet everywhere, it's not going to bode well for the home seller. And what I mean is, anytime a home buyer cringes inside your house, they are going to deduct tens of thousands of dollars from the price. Like at this point now they're buying a fixer-upper, and that is a huge undertaking. Imagine they have to find a contractor. They have to move all their stuff out after they moved it all in order to do all this stuff. And that's just the floors, right? So I think that I can make the point or the case that fixing up your house is worth the money. And then now the question is what to do. So what I do is I hire an interior decorator to come over to your house to meet with you whenever it's convenient, and she'll come over, say in the evening, and go through every room in your house and say, okay, the couch is too big, move it to this side, and take this end table and move it over here, and get rid of this, whatever this is. It's making the room look too small. And these 5 things you have on your shelf, just keep these 3 things. And in the bathroom, put some white towels on here and take all the stuff off the counters except for your soap, et cetera, et cetera. Get a new shower curtain, get a new bedspread. And then we can take it to the next level. We're talking about doing things like getting new door handles. If you have old brass door handles, and buying some, brushed nickel or some, black farmhouse looking paddle handles, the difference is enormous. And they're $14 a piece on Amazon. And that's the other side of the coin here, is people don't know what to do, but they also don't have, where do I get all this stuff? So I can send you my list from Amazon where I've already pre-selected 50 items, faucets, ceiling fans, light fixtures, door handles, door hinges, all those little things. And then in some cases, we even provide staging. The point I'm trying to make is it is worth the money and the time and the effort to fix your house up to make it look nice. And I would say of all the things that we do between the pre-appraisal, the pre-home inspection, the professional photos, the video, all of that, the staging consultation is what moves the needle. Whether or not you decide to do these things is what moves the needle into how much profit you're going to make over and above what you could make if you weren't, following this process. So I hope that's informative and helpful and kind of gives you some insight on this process and why it makes sense to do the upgrades. Thanks for watching.